The door splintered under the battering ram's third strike, wood shards flying like shrapnel in the dim hallway light of Alex Harper's Brooklyn walk-up. Detective Ryan Caldwell, badge glinting under his rumpled trench coat, stormed in first, his Glock 19 steady in a two-handed grip, sweeping the cramped living room for threats that weren't there, just shadows and the faint scent of stale coffee. His pulse thundered in his ears as his eyes locked on the overturned coffee table, papers scattered like fallen leaves, but it was the half-open drawer in the kitchenette that called to him, whispering secrets he wasn't ready to hear. He'd come here on a tip, anonymous and urgent, about the missing person case that had haunted the precinct for weeks. Jamie Ellis, 28, vanished without a trace from a Greenwich Village bar. Ryan's gut twisted because Jamie wasn't just any Vic. He was blood, his kid brother, the one who'd cut ties years ago over lifestyle choices Ryan had never fully grasped but had learned to tolerate from a distance. The tip said Alex Harper, the tenant, knew something. Ryan had a warrant, but this felt personal, invasive, like peeling back scabs on old family wounds. Alex wasn't home, thank God, or maybe not, his shift at the photo lab downtown running late. Ryan's boots crunched over glass from a shattered frame as he methodically cleared the space. Bedroom with its unmade bed and posters of Ansel Adams prints. Bathroom mirror fogged from a recent shower. But in the living room, under a pile of undeveloped film rolls, his gloved hand brushed a leather-bound album, tucked behind a stack of National Geographic back issues. He flipped it open, expecting surveillance shots or clues to Jamie's whereabouts. But the first page hit him like a gut punch. A candid of two men laughing on a Coney Island boardwalk, arms slung casual around shoulders, the Ferris wheel blurring in the background. One was Jamie, unmistakable, crooked grin, that damn tattoo of a compass rose on his forearm. The other, Alex, eyes crinkled in joy, a Nikon slung around his neck. Ryan's breath caught. Page after page unfolded a life he hadn't known existed. Stolen kisses in Central Park under autumn leaves. Jamie's head on Alex's lap during a rainy movie night. Projections flickering on the wall. These weren't just photos. They were artifacts of a love so raw, so unapologetic. It made Ryan's throat tighten with something between rage and unwelcome envy. How had he missed this? Jamie, the brother who'd idolized him as kids, building forts in their Jersey backyard, now captured in frames that screamed intimacy Ryan had never shared with anyone. And then, the last photo. Jamie alone, staring at the camera with haunted eyes, a note scrawled on the back in his looping script. If I go, know it was for us. Forgive him, Alex. He doesn't understand yet. Ryan slammed the album shut, heart hammering. These photos shouldn't exist, not in a world where Jamie was gone, presumed dead by some faceless bigot in a city that chewed up dreamers like them. But they did, and now Ryan held the key to a truth that could unravel everything. His family, his badge, the walls he'd built around his own buried doubts. He pocketed the album, radioing for backup, but as sirens wailed closer, a floorboard creaked behind him. Alex stood in the doorway, keys dangling from frozen fingers, his face draining of color at the sight of the gun and the intruder in his home. You, Ryan growled, holstering his weapon but not his suspicion. You're coming with me, and you're going to tell me every damn thing about those pictures. Alex's world tilted on its axis that humid August evening in 2025, the kind of Brooklyn summer where air conditioners wheezed like asthmatic ghosts and fire escapes became communal porches for neighborhood confessions. He'd rushed home early from the lab, dodging tourists on the F train, his mind replaying the last voicemail from Jamie 2 months back. Babe, we gotta talk. It's bigger than us. But the apartment door hung ajar, splintered at the hinges, and inside, a stranger in a detective's coat rifled through his life like it was evidence in a crime scene. Who the hell are you? Alex demanded, voice steady despite the adrenaline surge, his photographer's eye cataloging details. The man's broad shoulders tensed under cheap polyester, the faint scar above his left eyebrow, the way his jaw clenched like he was biting back a storm. Alex dropped his messenger bag, film canisters clattering, and stepped forward, defiance masking the terror gnawing at his ribs. This wasn't a random break-in. The guy had a badge clipped to his belt, and worse, he clutched the one thing Alex had sworn to protect. Their album. The visual diary of a love that had bloomed fierce and fragile against a backdrop of sideways glances and whispered slurs. Detective Ryan Caldwell, NYPD, the man said, flashing the shield with mechanical precision, his blue eyes hard as flint. Up close, Alex saw the family resemblance. Same strong nose, same unruly dark hair Jamie always joked about taming with gel. Ryan, the brother Jamie had mentioned in hushed tones, the golden boy cop who'd turned his back when Jamie came out at 17, citing family values that sounded more like fear. Alex's stomach plummeted. If Ryan was here, digging through drawers, it meant the worst had caught up. You're under suspicion for withholding evidence in the disappearance of James Ellis, Ryan continued, his voice a low rumble that echoed off the exposed brick walls. He held up the album like a talisman, pages splayed to that Coney Island shot. Start talking, Harper. How long were you screwing my brother? And where the hell is he now? The word screwing landed like a slap, reducing 2 years of quiet mornings and shared dreams to something sordid, disposable. Alex's fists balled at his sides, nails digging crescents into palms. His name's Jamie to you, isn't it? Not James. And we weren't screwing. We were building something real, something you wouldn't get because you've spent your life pretending it doesn't exist. He snatched for the album, but Ryan yanked it back, towering over him by a good 4 inches. The air crackled with unspoken histories, the kind that festered in Catholic upbringings and police academies where don't ask, don't tell, lingered like cigarette smoke. Ryan's laugh was bitter, devoid of humor. Real? That's what you call hiding out in this dump, snapping pics like some artsy fairy tale? I found the note, too. Forgive him. Him who? Me? What the fuck does that mean? He advanced, backing Alex against the kitchen counter, the edge biting into his spine. Up close, Ryan smelled of coffee and cologne, a masculine armor Alex recognized from too many bar fights averted. But there was a flicker in those eyes, uncertainty, maybe grief, cracking the facade. Before Alex could retort, Ryan's radio crackled. Caldwell, forensics en route. Secure the scene. The detective hesitated, then cuffed Alex's wrists with efficient clicks, the metal cold against sun-kissed skin. As they stepped into the hallway, neighbors peered from cracked doors. Mrs. Lopez with her rosary beads, the queer couple from 3B offering silent solidarity with raised eyebrows. Alex felt the weight of eyes, the city's pulse judging, always judging. At the precinct, a squat brick fortress in downtown Brooklyn, the interrogation room was a sterile box of flickering fluorescents and two-way mirrors. Alex sat shackled to the table, the album between them like a loaded gun. Ryan paced, shedding his coat to reveal a button-down strained at the seams, sleeves rolled to expose forearms corded with tension. Look, he said finally, slumping into the chair opposite, voice softening a fraction. Jamie's my only family left. Mom died when he was 10, Dad. He drank himself gone after. I raised him, or tried to. Then he pulls this coming out shit, runs to the city, and poof, gone for good. Until last month, when some bartender IDs him on a security cam, last seen arguing with a guy matching your description. Alex leaned forward, chains rattling. That was me. We argued because he was scared of shadows following him, of threats from old friends back home who didn't take kindly to his choices. He spat the word back, mirroring Ryan's earlier venom. Jamie was documenting it all, you know? Not just us, but the whole underground. LGBTQ spots getting torched, kids kicked out, the quiet violence that doesn't make headlines. He wanted to expose it, turn it into a book. Those photos. They're proof. Of love. Yeah, but also of a system that chews us up. Ryan's face paled, fingers drumming the table. Exposing what? You think this is some conspiracy? Jamie was a dreamer, always was. Wrote poetry in high school, hid it under his mattress like contraband. A ghost of a smile tugged his lips, gone in an instant. But threats? From who? From people like you. Alex shot back, regret immediate at the hurt flashing in Ryan's eyes. Cops who look the other way, families who disown. Jamie never hated you, man. He missed you. That's why the note. Forgive him. He knew you'd blame yourself if something happened. The room fell silent, save for the hum of the AC. Ryan flipped open the album again, tracing a finger over a shot of Jamie and Alex at Pride, rain-slicked and triumphant, rainbow flags whipping in the wind. This is what he chose over us. But his tone wavered, laced with a longing Alex recognized all too well, the ache of fractured bonds. Hours blurred into paperwork and coffee that tasted like regret. By dawn, Ryan uncuffed Alex, muttering about insufficient evidence for now, but the album stayed with him, a reluctant hostage. As Alex gathered his things, Ryan lingered in the doorway. If you're lying, if this is some lover's quarrel gone wrong. It's not, Alex interrupted, meeting his gaze. Help me find him, Ryan. For Jamie. Prove you're more than the uniform. Ryan nodded once, sharp, like swallowing glass. Outside, the city stirred, garbage trucks rumbling, first light gilding the bridges. Two men, bound by loss and secrets, stepped into the fray, unaware that the photos held one more twist, a face in the shadows that neither recognized, watching them both. The first joint patrol felt like walking a tightrope over the East River, winds howling gusts of doubt and half-truths. Alex rode shotgun in Ryan's unmarked Crown Vic, the dashboard cluttered with fast food wrappers and case files, the scanner crackling like distant thunder. It was 2 days after the break-in, and Ryan had pulled strings, questionable ones, to get Alex tagged as a consultant on the Ellis case, citing his photos as material evidence. Truth was, Ryan couldn't shake the images, Jamie's joy, unguarded, in a way he'd never seen in their Jersey childhood, where dad's belt enforced silence and mom's prayers begged for normalcy. Head to the village, Alex directed, voice clipped as they merged onto the BQE, horns blaring from cabs dodging potholes. That bar, the Blue Note, Jamie's last ping. He fiddled with the AC vents, cool air blasting his face, but it did nothing for the heat of resentment simmering between them. Ryan drove with white-knuckled grip, jaw set, replaying Alex's words from the precinct, people like you. It stung because it echoed his own self-loathing, the nights after academy graduation when he'd stared at his reflection, wondering why Jamie's rebellion felt like a personal betrayal. The Blue Note squatted on a corner lot off Christopher Street, neon sign flickering half-dead, windows papered with faded rainbow stickers. Inside, it was a time capsule of lowball dives, sticky bar top, jukebox crooning KD Lang, a handful of daytime drinkers nursing hangovers. The bartender, a wiry guy named Marco with tattoos snaking up his neck, recognized Jamie's photo from Ryan's phone. Yeah, kid was a regular. Sweet guy, always sketching on napkins. Left with some dude that night, tall, buzz cut, looked like military. Argued outside, then poof. Alex's pulse quickened. Military? Describe him. Marco shrugged, pouring a ginger ale on the house, but his eyes darted, nervous, guarded. Ryan leaned in, badge subtle but present. Off the record, Marco. We're not here to bust heads. The bartender sighed, wiping a glass. Look, this place. We get heat sometimes. Protests outside, bricks through windows last Pride. Jamie mentioned tailing him once. Thought it was his brother sniffing around. He nodded at Ryan, who stiffened. Nah, not you. Some other shadow. Said it tied to that group, the Guardians, bunch of zealots handing out pamphlets, preaching cure bullshit. Ryan's blood ran cold. The Guardians of Faith, he'd heard whispers, fringe outfit from Jersey, led by an ex-cop named Harlan Voss, railing against urban decay, code for queer lives. Dad had donated to similar causes before the bottle took him. Voss, Ryan muttered, filing it away. Alex caught his eye, a silent accusation. See? Your world. They canvassed the block next, Alex's camera clicking instinctively, street art murals of intertwined hands, a drag queen hawking flowers from a stoop, the pulse of a city that thrived in defiance. One shot caught Ryan unawares, profile sharp against a bodega awning, expression torn between duty and dawning empathy. Delete that, Ryan grumbled, but Alex smirked. Evidence, detective, of a man waking up. Back in the car, tension thickened like fog off the Hudson. Ryan drummed the wheel at a red light. You think I'm the villain here? I joined the force to protect people, like Jamie, if he'd stayed put. His voice cracked, rare vulnerability slipping through. Alex softened, just a notch. Protect? Or control? Jamie told me stories. How you'd cover for him after schoolyard fights. But when he kissed a boy at 16, you looked away. He idolized you, Ryan. Wanted your approval more than air. The light changed. Ryan gunned it, tires squealing. Approval? I was 22, fresh out of the academy, buried in Dad's expectations. Man up, Ryan. Keep the family straight. Straight, huh? Irony much. He laughed hollow. Alex studied him, seeing fractures. The way Ryan's eyes lingered on a couple holding hands across the street, envy masked as disdain. Their next stop was Alex's darkroom, a rented basement space in Williamsburg where chemical fumes hung heavy as memories. Ryan followed reluctantly, the air thick with the tang of developer trays and enlargers humming softly. Walls papered with proofs, protests in Ferguson bleeding into Black Lives Matter marches, intertwined with shots of queer youth at safe houses, faces blurred for protection. This is Jamie's legacy, Alex said, pinning a contact sheet under red safe lights. He pushed me to see beyond the pretty landscapes, to capture the fight. Ryan scanned the images, stopping at one, Jamie mid-speech at a rally, fist raised, eyes ablaze. He looks alive, not like the sullen kid who left home. A beat. Why'd he run that night? After the argument with you. Alex's hands stilled on a negative strip. He said we were in too deep. The Guardians knew about his work, threatened to out him to old contacts, ruin lives. Wanted him to hand over the negatives. I told him to fight. He said he had to protect me. Next morning, gone. Left the album half-developed, like a goodbye. Ryan picked up a loop, peering at a grainy shot in the corner. A man in shadows outside the bar, buzz cut unmistakable, face half-turned. That's our guy? Run it through facial rec. But as Alex prepped the scanner, Ryan's phone buzzed. A text from Precinct Dispatch. Guardian rally tonight, Midtown. Voss speaking. Possible link to Ellis. The rally was a powder keg under the marquee lights of a nondescript hall near Times Square, protesters clashing with counter-demonstrators in a cacophony of megaphones and middle fingers. Ryan badged their way past uniforms, Alex trailing with camera concealed in a backpack. Inside, the air reeked of sweat and righteousness, banners proclaiming, "Reclaim America from sin." Voss, a barrel-chested brute in his 50s with a preacher's cadence, thundered from the podium. These abominations in our streets, they corrupt our youth, erode our values. We've lost one of our own to their lies. James Ellis, seduced and vanished. The crowd roared. Ryan's fists clenched. Alex whispered, "Lost one?" Jamie was never theirs. They slipped backstage, hearts pounding, where a side door led to an alley slick with rain. There, under a dumpster's overhang, they spotted him, buzz cut, mid-40s, barking orders into a walkie. Harlan Voss's right-hand man. Ryan moved first, tackling the guy against chain link, knee in his back. "NYPD, where's Ellis?" The man wheezed, smirking through bloodied lip. "Gone where sinners go, cop. Ask your brother. He chose wrong." Alex snapped photos, flash popping like gunfire, capturing the hate-twisted face. But as backup arrived, the man spat a name. "Check the river. Jersey side. That's where Voss dumps regrets." Hours later, soaked and shivering in Ryan's car parked by the Passaic, they stared at the dark water lapping industrial docks. No body, no closure, just the weight of what-ifs. Ryan turned to Alex, voice raw. "If he's out there, I need to know it wasn't my fault." Alex reached across the console, hand on Ryan's arm. Hesitant, electric. "It wasn't. But running from it. That's on all of us." In that moment, under sodium lamps casting orange halos, something shifted. Not forgiveness, not yet, but a bridge forming over chasms of misunderstanding. The photos had cracked open doors long bolted. Now, the real search began, not for Jamie's body, but for the men they'd become in his absence. Dawn broke over the Jersey Palisades like a reluctant confession, mist clinging to the cliffs where the Hudson met salt marshes. Ryan and Alex had crashed at a no-tell-motel off Route 9, the kind with vibrating beds and walls thin as tissue, separating their rooms by a shared vending machine that spat warm sodas. Sleep had been fitful for both. Ryan replaying the alley takedown, the thug smirk etching nightmares. Alex sifting mental negatives, wondering if every shadow hid Jamie's ghost. They reconvened over styrofoam coffee in the motel's greasy spoon, truckers hunched over omelets, eyeing the odd pair. City cop and artist, shoulders brushing as they pored over printouts. Facial Rec had ID'd the buzz cut as Eddie Klein, ex-Marine, Voss's enforcer with a rap sheet of assaults masked as hate crime defenses. "This guy's no ghost," Ryan said, circling a mugshot with a diner pen. "Did time upstate for aggravated. Targeted a trans kid in 22. Voss bailed him out." Alex nodded, stirring sugar into black brew. "Jamie caught wind last fall. Snapped Klein tailing a support group meetup in the village. Kids fresh out, sharing stories. He was building a portfolio, anonymous tips to reporters. Thought it could spark change." His voice hitched, fork pausing midair over scrambled eggs. Ryan watched, noting the hollows under Alex's eyes, the way grief hollowed him out like overexposed film. "You loved him deep, huh?" Ryan asked, casual but probing, the diner's jukebox warbling Johnny Cash about walking the line. Alex met his gaze, unflinching. "More than snapshots. He saw me, scars and all. Grew up in foster care, bounced around Ohio Bible belts where gay meant damnation. Jamie? He made me believe in redemption, not the fire and brimstone kind." Ryan leaned back, booth final creaking. His own scars itched. The academy locker room taunts when rumors swirled about his soft spot for a classmate. The blind dates with nice Catholic girls that ended in polite handshakes. "Redemption," he echoed, tasting the word. "Maybe that's why I pushed Jamie away. Thought I was saving him. From me, from Dad's shadow. Turns out, I was the one drowning." The admission hung, fragile as morning fog. Alex's hand twitched toward Ryan's, then retreated, a reflex born of habit with Jamie. Instead, he slid a photo across the table, one from the album, Jamie and Ryan as teens, arms around each other at a Giants game, grins wide under foam fingers. He kept this, tucked in his wallet. Said you were his North Star, even when the path diverged. Ryan's throat closed. He pocketed the print, fingers lingering. "Let's hit Voss's compound. Tip says it's out here. Old warehouse off the turnpike. If Klein squeals, we move fast." The compound loomed like a fortress from a dystopian flick. Razor wire atop cinder block, floodlights sweeping gravel lots dotted with pickups sporting cross decals. They parked a quarter-mile out, hiking through scrub oak under a sky bruising to slate. Ryan's service pistol felt heavy at his hip. Alex gripped a tire iron from the trunk, his camera slung for backup. Adrenaline sharpened senses, the crunch of leaves, distant dog barks, the metallic tang of fear. They breached a side fence, Ryan boosting Alex over with grunting effort, hands lingering on waist a beat too long. Inside, it was a hive, pamphlets stacked in crates, a chapel tent buzzing with vespers, men in fatigues drilling like militia. They ducked behind generators, hearts sinking in ragged rhythm, until voices drifted, Voss and Klein, arguing in a Quonset hut. "Ellis kids' photos? Burn 'em all. Can't have that filth leaking." Voss growled, Jersey accent thick as tar. Klein chuckled. Already handled the boyfriend, scared him off. But the cop brother's sniffing. Caldwell thinks he's hot shit. Ryan tensed, but Alex's grip on his arm steadied him. They crept closer, peering through a grimy window. Voss, red-faced, slamming a fist on a table strewn with photos. They're photos. Jamie's proofs, pilfered somehow, faces of victims circled in red marker. One sheet fluttered, a map, pins at safe houses, the blue note, even Alex's darkroom. Voss's laugh boomed. Caldwell's blind, family loyalty's his leash. Let him chase ghosts. By the time he connects dots, we'll have cleaned house. They slipped away undetected, exfil like shadows, but the close call ignited something primal. Back on the turnpike, rain sheeting the windshield, Ryan swerved into a rest area, tires hydroplaning. They're targeting more than Jamie. This is a purge. Your world, his world, our. He trailed off, engine idling. Alex turned, rain-streaked face illuminated by dash glow. Ours? What's that mean, Ryan? The question crackled, charged as the storm outside. Ryan's hand found the gear shift, then Alex's knee, tentative, testing. I don't know, but seeing those pics, it woke something. Envy maybe. For what you two had. For what I buried. The kiss was inevitable, born of shared peril and unspoken aches. Rough, urgent, tasting of coffee and salt. Alex pulled back first, breath ragged. Jamie, he'd want this. Healing, not hate. But doubt flickered. Was this rebound or revelation? They broke the compound's perimeter again that night, emboldened, slipping into the chapel tent while sentries patrolled. Inside, under canvas flaps, altars to purity, mocked with crucifixes and conversion lit. Hidden in a lockbox, Jamie's missing camera bag, negatives intact. Alex's fingers trembled, developing them on-site with a portable kit. Images blooming like bruises. Klein intimidating a teen at a clinic. Voss meeting shadowy donors, and one gut trencher. Jamie bound in a back room. Dated weeks prior. Plea in his eyes. Tell Ryan. Love wins. Ryan's world fractured. He's alive. Somewhere. Vengeance surged, but Alex anchored him. We get proof first. Expose them. As they fled, alarms wailing, a shot cracked, grazing Ryan's shoulder, blood blooming dark. Alex dragged him to the fence, tire irons swinging at pursuers, their escape a blur of adrenaline and alliance forged in fire. In the motel's sodium-lit parking lot, bandaging Ryan's wound with torn t-shirt strips, Alex whispered, "You're not alone anymore." Ryan pulled him close, foreheads touching. "Neither are you." The line between brother-in-law and something more blurred, a twist neither anticipated, as sirens wailed closer. Voss's men or cops, the night held its breath. Word of the warehouse breach rippled through the undercurrents of New York like a stone skipped across the Gowanus Canal, sending ripples to precinct water coolers and back-alley queer bars alike. By midday, Ryan's shoulder throbbed under hasty stitches from an ER doc who'd asked no questions. Perks of the badge, but the real ache was internal, a seismic shift from the kiss in the rain. He replayed it in the precinct locker room, steam from showers clouding mirrors, dodging sidelong glances from partners who'd whisper, "Caldwell's gone soft," if they knew. Alex waited outside in the Vic, nursing a black eye from the scuffle, scrolling through digitized negatives on his phone. The images burned. Jamie's captivity, timestamped July 15th, the day after their argument. Guilt clawed Alex. Had his push for exposure sealed Jamie's fate? But resolve hardened him. These were weapons now, not wounds. When Ryan emerged, jacket slung over his good arm, Alex slid over. "Captain wants you in briefing. Play it straight. Say we tailed a lead on Klein." The bullpen buzzed with fluorescent urgency, white bars scrawled with unrelated cases, but Ryan's captain, a grizzled vet named O'Leary with a mustache like steel wool, eyed him sharp. "Heard you moonlighted in Jersey, Caldwell." "Guardians? That's federal territory. And who's the civilian tag-along?" Ryan spun a yarn about anonymous tips, Alex as photographic consultant, but O'Leary's squint lingered. "Watch your back. Voss has friends in high places, donors who golf with the commissioner." Dismissed, Ryan found Alex charming intel from a desk sergeant over vending machine snacks. Whispers of an internal leak, someone tipping Voss off about rates. Paranoia seeded. Who could they trust? They decamped to a safe house upstate, a NYPD flop in the Catskills, cabin amid pines, stocked with MREs and burners. The drive north wound through autumn gold hills, radio scanning for chatter, silence stretching taut as bowstrings. At the cabin, isolation amplified everything. The creak of floorboards, Ryan's winces changing bandages, Alex's quiet humming of old folk tunes Jamie loved. Dinner was canned chili heated on a hot plate, eaten cross-legged on a threadbare rug. "Tell me about him," Ryan said, stirring embers in the fireplace. "Not the hero, the mess. What did he hide from the world?" Alex chuckled, shadows dancing on log walls. "Oh, Jamie was a disaster. Burned toast every morning, swore it was experimental cuisine. But his laugh, God, it filled rooms. And the poetry, he'd scribble lines on my skin with Sharpie, erase them with kisses. Nostalgia softened his edges, but pain lurked." Ryan listened, feeding logs, the fire's warmth thawing barriers. "Sounds like the kid I lost. Always doodling on my baseball cards, turning strikeouts into epic quests." Embers glowed, confessions followed. Ryan admitted the academy crush. Tommy Ruiz, broad-shouldered rookie whose touch during drills lingered too long, ending in a bar fight to prove his manhood. Punched him out, called it sparring. Never spoke again. Alex nodded, no judgment. "I get it. First foster dad caught me with a neighbor boy, 14, fumbling in the barn. Whipped me with a belt, quoted Leviticus. Ran away at 16, hitchhiked to the city. Thought love was a trap, till Jamie. Their eyes met across flames, charged air crackling. Ryan shifted closer, good hand tracing Alex's jaw, gentle, questioning. The kiss this time was slower, exploratory, grief transmuting to solace. But as hands roamed, mapping unfamiliar terrains, Alex pulled back, tears pricking. It's Jamie's ghost between us. Ryan cupped his face. Or his gift, pushing us to feel, not flee. They didn't cross lines that night, boundaries fragile as frost, but slept entwined on the couch, Ryan's head on Alex's chest, listening to heartbeats sync like metronomes. Dawn brought strategy. Upload select negatives to a secure drop for a journalist contact, Elena Vasquez at the Village Voice, who'd run exposés on queer violence. She'll bite, Alex said, fingers flying on the burner laptop. But Voss'll retaliate. We need bait. The plan coalesced over trail mix and topo maps. Stage a meet at an abandoned mill in Yonkers. Leak word through Klein's cellmate that Harper's got the full archive. Ryan would wire up, SWAT on standby. Alex the lure, drawing Voss out. Too risky, Ryan protested, pacing the cabin's warped porch, leaves swirling. You're not bulletproof. Alex grinned, fierce. Neither are you. But for Jamie, we'd burn the world. Yonkers delivered on autumn's promise. Skeletal factories hulking under gunmetal skies. Hudson winds whipping the chain link. They arrived at dusk, Alex alone in the mill's gutted shell, echoes amplifying drips from rusted beams. Ryan watched from a crow's nest, scope trained, pulse erratic. Minutes stretched, then tires crunched, 2 black SUVs, Voss stepping out like a warlord, Klein at his flank, Fergoons fanning. Harper, Voss bellowed, voice booming off concrete. Hand over the filth, and maybe your cop boyfriend walks. Alex stepped into light, negatives in a manila envelope, dummies, watermarks hidden. It's bigger than pics, Harlan. It's people, yours, mine. End this, or it all spills. Negotiations frayed fast. Voss lunged, Klein drawing a snub nose. Shots rang, Ryan's team breaching, chaos erupting in muzzle flashes and shouts. Alex dove behind Vats, envelope clutched, but a stray round clipped his thigh, fire lancing. Ryan vaulted down, tackling Klein, fists flying in a blur of badges and bigotry. Where's Ellis? He roared, knee-grinding wrist till the gun skittered. Klein spat blood. Safe house. Poconos. Voss's rehab camp. Voss bolted, but SWAT netted him in the yard, cuffs clicking like vindication. Medics swarmed. Alex waved off the gurney, limping to Ryan amid flashing lights. Got him. Ryan nodded, pulling him into a crush of relief, blood and sweat mingling. Yeah, and a lead, Jamie's alive. But as feds swarmed the scene, seizing drives and statements, a twist uncoiled. O'Leary on site, handshake with Voss's lawyer too chummy. The leak traced home, Ryan's captain, pockets lined by donors. Betrayal stung deep, fracturing trust anew. In the ambulance, Alex gripped Ryan's hand. We fight dirty now. For all of them. Ryan squeezed back, resolve stealing. The photos had ignited a war. Now, victory demanded sacrifices neither was prepared for. The Poconos sprawled like a forgotten postcard, cabins nestled in evergreen hush, but Voss's rehab camp hid in a gated enclave off Route 940. Whitewashed lodges preaching salvation through sermons and sedatives. Intel from Klein's cracked lips under hot lights painted a grim picture. Conversion therapy light, volunteers like Jamie isolated, deprogrammed, with isolation and scripture. Ryan and Alex, holed up in a Scranton motel with federal embeds, pored over blueprints smuggled by Elena's stringer, a ex-Guardian whistleblower named Theo, gaunt and twitchy, nursing grudges. You're sure about the East Wing? Ryan pressed, marker circling Vince on the printout, his shoulders sling itching under flannel. Theo nodded, chain-smoking camels. Cells there, padded, no windows. Voss calls it reflection. Broke my spirit in one, Jamie. He fought. Poetry in the margins, smuggled notes. Said a cop brother and photographer lover would come. Alex's chest tightened, imagining Jamie's defiance. Verses scratched on styrofoam trays, metaphors for freedom. How many inside? Theo exhaled smoke rings. 20. Give or take. Queers, doubters, cured, ones who relapse. Feds raid tomorrow dawn. You're the tip of the spear. Locate Ellis. Extract quiet. Night fell velvet heavy, stars pricking the sky like undeveloped grains. Ryan and Alex geared up in the motel's lot. Black tack vests, suppressed Glocks. Alex's camera modded with NVG clip. Tension hummed. Their touches lingered. Fingers brushing holsters. A stolen kiss under sodium buzz that tasted of resolve and regret. If it goes south, Alex murmured. Promise me, get Jamie out. I'll cover. Ryan's grip tightened. Together, or not at all. The breach was poetry in motion. Feds chopper-dropping shadows over tree leans. Ryan and Alex rappelling to a service hatch. Bolt cutters snipping locks with muffled snaps. Inside, the camp slumbered under generator hum. Patrols lax. Arrogance of isolation. They ghosted corridors, air thick with pine, cleaner masking despair, whispers guiding to the east wing. Doors line the hall, peepholes dark. Ryan picked the third, lock pops echoing soft. Inside, a figure huddled on a cot, emaciated, bearded, but those eyes, Jamie's, wide with disbelief. Alex. The whisper broke like dawn. Ryan uncuffed him first, trembling hands on wrists raw from restraints. Kid brother. We're here. Alex enveloped him next, sobs silent against flannel. Camera forgotten as he traced familiar contours. Thinner, scarred, but whole. Jamie collapsed into them, narrative spilling in gasps. Kidnapped post-argument, dosed with anti-anxiety meds to pray away his affliction, forced labor in kitchens reciting psalms. Voss wanted the negatives, threatened you both. I held out, but they broke others. Theo smuggled food, kept hope. His gaze flicked between them, noting the ease. Hands linked, unspoken bond. You two? Later, Ryan cut in, slinging Jamie's arm over his shoulder, trio shuffling toward exfil. But alarms shrieked. Betrayal redux, a nurse spotting the empty cell. Footsteps thundered. Voss's remnants, armed with shotguns and zeal, funneled them into the chapel, crossbeams arching like accusations. Cornered amid pews, Ryan fired warning shots, ceiling plaster raining. NYPD. Stand down. Voss emerged from vestry, Bible in one hand, pistol in the other, apocalyptic. Caldwell. Come to save the sodomite? Join us. Family first. His eyes gleamed fanatic. Jamie spat. Family? You kidnapped me, you fraud. Alex raised his camera, flash popping. Evidence immortalized. Voss's rage captured in stark relief. The standoff teetered. Goons circling. Feds breaching outer gates, audible distant. Ryan stepped forward, voice steel. This ends, Harlan. Your empire's dust. Donors flipping, O'Leary in cuffs. Voss laughed mad. You think it's money? It's war for souls. He lunged at Jamie. Ryan intercepted, bullet grazing bicep, reciprocal wound. Alex tackled Voss, tire iron days paying off, pinning till Feds stormed. Extraction was chaos, hellos whirring, detainees blinking into floodlights, medevacs ferrying the broken. Jamie, four dripped on a stretcher, gripped their hands. You came. Both of you. Ryan brushed hair from his brow. Always Jay, proud of you. Alex nodded, tears carving tracks. Poet's home. Back in Brooklyn, weeks blurred rehabilitation. Jamie in therapy circles, reclaiming verses. Ryan on desk duty. Internal affairs grilling O'Leary's web. Alex developed the raid shots. Gallery show pending. Shadows to light. Proceeds to safe houses. But fractures lingered. Jamie's PTSD nightmares echoing through walls. Ryan's recoil at precinct homophobia. Alex's guilt over the kiss. One crisp November eve, over takeout Lo Mein and Alex's repaired apartment. Door fixed, album enshrined, confrontation brewed. Jamie, stronger now, set down chopsticks. Saw you too, that night in the cabin. Don't stop on my account. Ryan flushed, Alex froze. It's not. Jamie smiled, weary-wise. It is. Love's not zero-sum. You pulled me from hell, let it pull you from yours. He rose, hugging them both, fierce, forgiving. I'm crashing at Theo's. Write your chapter. Alone, Ryan and Alex faced the album, pages turning to futures unwritten. Ryan traced a photo of three silhouettes against sunset. What now? Alex leaned in, lips brushing temple. Us. Messy real. No ghosts. The kiss sealed it. Deep, promising, tension uncoiling into tentative joy. But Dawn brought a package. Anonymous, postmarked Jersey. Inside, a single negative. Ryan at 18, arm around Tommy Ruiz, candid from a forgotten role. Sender unknown, Dad's old attic? Voss's parting shot? Twist or truce, it whispered. Secrets persist, but so does grace. Ryan burned it in the sink, ashes swirling. Ours starts clean. Winter clamped Brooklyn in iron jaws, snow drifts muffling the city's roar, but inside Alex's apartment, warmth bloomed tentative. Candles flickering on sills, Jamie's poetry chapbook open on the coffee table, dog-eared at redemption's frame. The raid's fallout cascaded. Voss indicted on kidnapping and racketeering, O'Leary resigning in disgrace, headline splashing cop busts bigot ring, with Elena's byline crediting anonymous sources. Ryan's face blurred in group shots, but precinct whispers evolved. From suspicion to sidelong respect, a few backslaps laced with good work, Cal. Yet personal tempests brewed. Jamie thrived in recovery, volunteering at a queer youth center, his compass tattoo inked bolder as anchor. But shadows clung. Therapy unearthed buried rages, directed inward. One night, over shared beers on the fire escape, city lights twinkling like errant stars, he cornered Ryan. You kissed him. Before the rescue. I saw in your eyes the way you hold him now. Ryan's beer paused mid-sip, frost nipping knuckles. Jay, it's not. Betrayal? Jamie finished, voice steady but edged. Nah, evolution. But don't lie. I've carried your rejection like a stone. When I came out, you vanished. Now you're blooming. Hurt laced the word, vulnerability cracking armor. Ryan set the bottle down, railing cold under palms. I was scared, kid, of losing you to a world I couldn't protect. Dad's ghost, the badge, it blinded me. But you're the bravest, Caldwell. This, he gestured between Hart and Alex's window glow. It's me catching up. Jamie exhaled, smoke plume in chill air. Then own it. Invite me to dinner, not interrogations. Laughter bridged the gap, tentative, brothers reclaiming lost years. Inside, Alex watched from the kitchen, slicing apples, symbol of knowledge, bitten deep, relief softening shoulders. Love's geometry shifted, not triangle, but constellation, points connected in unexpected grace. Ryan's arc steepened next. A precinct fundraiser, stiff suits and spouses, forced the mirror, partnered with Alex, official as +1, navigating homophobic jabs masked as jokes. Caldwell's got a new beat, a sergeant quipped over whiskey sours, elbowing ribs. Ryan's retort landed sharp. Yeah, one that matters. Try keeping up. Alex's hand on his back steadied, pride swelling. Later, in a coat check alcove, stolen moment. You're out, detective. Proud. Ryan's grin wolfish. Out and unapologetic. Your fault. But climax crested unbidden, a vestige of Voss's venom. February gale howled, subways stalled, when a brick shattered Alex's darkroom window, wrapped in barbed wire. Note scrawled, photos don't die. Neither does judgment. Prints scattered, their intimate shots, defaced with slurs. Panic surged. Alex barricaded, calling Ryan midstorm. It's them holdouts. Sirens cut the blizzard, Ryan kicking in the door, echo of their first meeting, but now protector, not intruder. He swept the alley, finding footprints trailing to a guardian sympathizer, precinct janitor, Voss donor. Arrest swift, confession tearful under interrogation lights. Thought I was saving souls, the man blubbered. Ryan's response iced. You shattered lives. Mine included. The breach catalyzed unity. Community rallied. Board-ups turned to murals by local artists. Rainbows over cracks. Jamie organized a vigil. Candles lining the street. Voices rising in chants and songs. Ryan spoke, voice amplified by bullhorn. We stand not against, but for love in all its forms. For Jamie, for Alex, for every shadow we've pulled to light. Applause thundered. Alex, beside him, squeezed hand. Partner, equal. Spring unfurled tentative. Cherry blossoms dusting Fort Greene Park where it began. Jamie's idea, A picnic redux of Coney memories. Blanket spread, sandwiches devoured, laughter free. Jamie unveiled a new photo, composite. The three of them, arms linked, skyline behind. Our hook, he said. From break-in to breakthrough. But final twist whispered in mail. A letter from Tommy Ruiz, prompted by Elena's article. Saw your name. That night. I punched back because I felt it too. Late, but drinks. Ryan showed Alex, brow arched. Closure. Alex smirked. Or sequel. Your call. They framed the letter unopened, beside the album, a talisman of possibilities. Evenings now ritual, darkroom sessions, Ryan learning exposures, hands steady on enlargers, poetry readings, Jamie's verses inspiring shots, nights tangled, bodies and souls mapping new intimacies, gentle, profound, free of ghosts. Summer solstice found them at Pride, floats thumping bass, confetti raining. Ryan in a borrowed rainbow tee, badge tucked away. Alex's camera capturing joy unfiltered, Jamie waving from a stage, mic in hand. To the cops who broke in, the brothers who broke free, love's the real evidence. The crowd roared, a sea of acceptance. In quiet aftermath, on a rooftop under stars, Ryan pulled Alex close. Those photos that shouldn't exist? They did. And so do we. Alex smiled, kiss sealing fate. Twists turned to truths. Prejudice crumbled, not by force, but feeling. Deep, unrelenting. The story, unfinished, continued in frames of tomorrow.